Football Mondays coming tonight from Jamaica's North Coast. It's Mount Pleasant FC at home to humble land under the night skies here in the Garden Parish of St. Anne, the birth parish of Bob Marley. Mount Pleasant and Humble Land. Mount Pleasant 5 points off the leaders, Waterhouse. Humble Land 10 points off the leaders, Waterhouse. Humble Land looking for a victory here tonight against a Mount Pleasant team that has been very steady all season. The global sporting world still in shock and dismay over the passing of the NBA icon, his daughter and 7 others in a helicopter crash in California on Sunday. But the fans are turning out tonight here, Donald, to watch Humble Land tackle a Mount Pleasant team that has its eyes set on the regular season championship.
Yeah, they do, but they have to win. And Humble Land, of course, they're looking at the top 2 and they have to win. So it's an interesting encounter that we're expecting tonight on the lights here at Drax Hall. Humble Land, of course, they are some way away from the leaders, but Mount Pleasant, they are eager to be top of the table as well.
Yeah, this is the 24th match day of the 2019-2020 season, of course. Those matches kicking off on Sunday afternoon, and look at those results. Waterhouse 3-1 over Dunbeholden, 2 goals for the 35-year-old veteran Rafiq Thomas, getting Waterhouse a victory here and ending Dunbeholden's 6-game unbeaten run. Portmore United 3 wins in a row now, 5-0 over Vere United. And Vere United in real problems at the bottom of the table. The other 3 matches ending in drawn results. 1-1 between UWI and Malines, who have not won or won just one of their last 18 matches. Cavalier 1-1 with Harbourview, and Arnett Gardens 1-1 with Tivoli Gardens.
So Waterhouse with the win, giving them a little bit more space at the top with 46 points. Of course, Mount Pleasant right behind on 41 points. Portmore United now on 39 points, and Humble Land seeking to move up the table from 4th. Of course, UWI would have done no favours. Also, Malines United with that draw, and well, UWI still have some work to do to move up.
Yeah, and we keep talking about how difficult the battle for the playoff spots continue to be, because when you look at 3rd placed Portmore United on 39 points, they're just 8 points in front of 9th placed Harbourview, who are on 31 points. So still a lot to play for in the battle for those playoff spots. At the moment, you have to think that the leaders, Waterhouse, looking pretty safe at the moment.
Yeah, looking pretty safe as we take a look at the head-to-head over the years. Of course, Mount Pleasant would have just come into the Premiership for the last couple of seasons, so not a lot of clashes to look back on, but you can see that Mount Pleasant with the advantage for most of these games.
Yes, overall in the 5 meetings they have had head-to-head, we've had 2 drawn results, 2 Mount Pleasant wins, and only 1 Humble Land win. That 1 Humble Land victory you didn't see in those graphics because it happened at the beginning of last season when Mount Pleasant were having their first taste of the Red Stripe Premier League. But tonight is going to be very important here for both teams. As I said, they're chasing the leaders, Waterhouse. Mount Pleasant, they have in the past 2 weeks scored just 1 goal in the last 2 matches that they've played, and that's not like the Mount Pleasant that we've become accustomed to, which is a free scoring team. They've got to be more clinical in front and play like they've been playing in rounds 1 and 2.
They wasted quite a few chances in the attacking third when they played Harbourview on the last couple of Monday night games. But they need to create more as well, and they'd want to fix that. They'd want to remedy the situation against a Humble Land team known for their defensive strengths over the years.
Yeah, they certainly are, and they are in many ways an aging team, Humble Land. The Humble Land team having a lot of players over 30 and in their late 20s, so that could be a factor tonight. However, they would want to, as a visiting team, Donald, take the attack to Mount Pleasant and not allow the home team to settle and get their fans involved.
Yeah, you're right, and the veterans, as you mentioned before, they need to lead by example. They have about 150 Premier League goals over the years, combined the players of Humble Land, so they've seen a lot of football and they would know where to strike. Of course, as I said before, their strength is really their defense. Well, that has been the case over the years. Probably not so this season, especially with their mindset of being more attacking in their play. But again, the veterans must come to this fore against a Mount Pleasant team with a lot of flair, style and speed.
Yeah, and this Humble Land team, of course, they were regular season champions 3 years ago, very emphatically under the coaching of Donovan Ducky. but since then they have not been as strong. They have an opportunity to get back into the playoffs tonight if they continue to hold their form as we get ready for more action here and the build-up for the Red Stripe Premier League fixture tonight. The NPA lives on Sportsmax, and the Golden State Warriors will be up against the Boston Celtics Thursday night, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time, and that's on Sportsmax.
Yep, pretty much a double-header on Thursday night, 10:30 Jamaica time, 11:30 ECT, Utah Jazz at Denver Nuggets. And we also have some football to look forward to on the weekend, Lance.
Yeah, La Liga and Real Madrid, they will be battling Atletico Madrid, battle of city rivals. Real Madrid, of course, taking the lead ahead of Barcelona following their victory last weekend.
Yeah, that's on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, 11 ECT. And of course, Barcelona will take on Levante on Sunday. And that match will come to you at 3 o'clock Jamaica time, 4 ECT.
Yes, so the crowd is building here at the Draxol Stadium on Jamaica's north coast in the parish of St. Anne. The players are on the field warming up, and look who is in the Humberland gear tonight. Vishenal Harris, for so long a stalwart for the Arnett Gardens team. Now he turns out for Humberland. First time. There were rumors several months ago that this move was possible. Now it is happening, and Vishenal Harris will be wearing the number 7 shirt tonight for Humberland. We continue with more of the build-up after this.
Defender to electrify the crowd. Look at this play. I'm gone.
We are ready.
The role is to continue to drive for the development of the game here. Although players are selected from clubs abroad, they were developed in the league.
They're really quality players and they have really good attitude, and you get your money's worth.
This match has turned up some. One of the cooler nights that we would have experienced on Red Stripe Football Mondays, 25 degrees Celsius. It does feel a little bit cooler than that at the moment here in our commentary point. There was some rain earlier on today, and there are still some cloudy skies above us and pretty humid conditions. Just a slight wind across the field. Good playing conditions, Donald, although I think the players will have to place a lot of emphasis on their warming up program at the moment, because in these conditions players can get hurt pretty easily.
Yeah, they can. Mentioned earlier that there are a couple of divots on the field of play, so not quite smooth. As we take a look at Mount Pleasant and their profile. Of course, they're located in the Garden Parish of St. Anne, founded in 2016, and they're still trying to get into the gear of the Red Stripe Premier League. Of course, last season they would have finished third, having progressed through the playoffs to reach the semis, Lance.
Yeah, and looking to improve on that for sure this year. And Sula Makala, one of their key players, good in defense, good coming up in attack on the set plays as well. Got the late equalizer for Mount Pleasant last week to earn them a point against Harbourview in Kingston. That was a fine header from distance, pulling the Mount Pleasant team to 1-1.
Yeah, a lot of persons at Harbourview, of course, thought that they didn't quite deserve the equalizer in that game. As we take a look at Keslan Hall, who wants to get himself into some form here, Lance, because he has been missing on quite a few occasions. He has had several opportunities, and of course more recently against Harbourview he has missed the mark on a couple of occasions. So Keslan Hall would want to come to the party today, as Lance Whitaker spoke with the Mount Pleasant coaching staff.
Nigel, very important fixture for Mount Pleasant tonight. A victory for you will put you within 2 points of the leaders, Waterhouse. How important is it to you to get to the leaders?
It's very important. I mean, last year we stayed in the bottom 4 in the playoff, and you know what happened. So this year we want to go in second place or first place and see what happens then.
The Humberland team is a team that haven't beaten you in your last 4 meetings. They've only beaten you once, which was the very first time you met them. But since then, you've sorted things out and not lost to them. Does that mean anything to you as you look ahead to this one?
No, that really, you know, and the day is what counts. You know, everybody's strengthening up their team in January. See, chance for win that. So we do the same, but you know, we have to go out and play just the same.
I was mentioning that you've been one of the most free-scoring teams in the tournament. In fact, Waterhouse is the only team that has scored more goals than you have so far. But the past couple of weeks, you haven't gotten any goals. What's been happening in training this week to fix that?
I mean, I don't think in front of the goal, the last was a couple of games, as I said, we were comfortable. And, you know, we get the guys comfortable again and they're relaxed and ready to go.
Every time we do a Monday night fixture here at Draxall, the fans are excited and the team responds and plays with a lot of heart. Is that the mood going into the game tonight? Yeah,
it's a mood. You know, the 12 man, they're very important. And every time, as I said, they come to Draxall, they really, you know, give us the strength to put up a good fight.
I spoke to David Galloway, the general manager of Mount Pleasant, earlier on today. I put the question to him. Debut season last year, you got to the semi-finals, which was reasonable. But you now have that debut season behind you. What's your objective this year?
The objective is to go all the way. You know, it's our long-term goal, and we are ahead on it very well now.
Humberland, of course, they would have been around for a while, founded in 1974. Of course, they're traveling all the way from Clarendon to be here tonight. Last season, they would have finished 8th. It would have been disappointing for them not to make the playoffs, having been there or thereabouts in previous years. Of course, they would have won the league as well a couple of seasons back. So, yeah, they'd want to go back to those lofty heights. Humberland, and of course, Levon Williams, being a veteran, will be hoping to lead the charge as well. So much is expected from him. He has 50 Red Stripe Premier League goals and 4 this season in particular. In fact, he scored his 50th goal in the Premier League against Arnett Gardens in the last game of 2019. And it was an equalizer from the penalty spot in that game. But again, so important to this Humberland team.
Yeah, he was also their leading scorer last year with 8 goals. Another key player in this Humberland lineup is Andrew Venzi, former national representative as well. He's also had 4 goals to his mark this season. Garvin Maceo, his former school, and looking to get a good game for his team tonight.
Yep. Usually a midfielder who is very determined to win the ball, as we go to O'Neill Bigger-Thompson, who is with Lance Whitaker.
O'Neill, this is a very important fixture for Humberland. A victory tonight will put you closer to the lead. How has preparation gone for this match?
I mean, every game is important. First, I must say that we prepare the same way we prepare for every team. I mean, Mount Pleasant is a tough team, we know that. And we also prepare ourselves to challenge the good, the average, and it's one of them nights tonight, which you know it's going to be very hard, but we are prepared enough to do so. We are out with some people, but I mean, we have a big squad, and that's why you have that amount of numbers to allow people to come in and fill the void of some people who is absent.
I see the outstanding Arnett Gardens midfielder starts for Humberland tonight from the January transfer. How big is that move for Humberland?
I mean, whenever we dip into the market based on the talent that Tumblr have, it must be exceptional. And Vishnal is one that, in no question, might need to re-energize his moments. He's a great talent, and hopefully he can come here and execute and be himself and get back to where he belongs.
How long physically has he been with the team training?
About a full 8 or 9 days. But the fact that he was already in season, I don't think he had need to be assessed physically, because he's normally a fit player. Might move like he's not moving, but he's moving.
And the plan for tonight's fixture, Mount Pleasant have been a free scoring team overall, but the past couple of weeks they have not been scoring.
I mean, they had good striker. You must acknowledge that they have maybe some of the best in the league in terms of speed and in terms of how they handle themselves. And we prepare ourselves to deal with that. I mean, not every time you plan it goes to plan, but hopefully tonight it does.
And what will be your strategy to stop Mount Pleasant tonight, because they're a few points ahead of you in the table?
Well, you know there are a few points ahead of us. The strategy you have to watch and feel and see. I mean, I can't say that because sometimes you can't just set something and say this is going to be it, and then it's a change to the way they set up. So we normally adjust ourselves based on how they set up.
We have some EFL Championship matches to look forward to on Friday in particular. Derby County against Stoke City. That's on Friday afternoon, 2:45 Jamaica time, 3:45 ECT. And of course in La Liga on Saturday morning, 10 o'clock Jamaica time, 11 ECT, it's the Madrid Derby, Real against Atletico, and that's going to be on Sportsmax 2. And of course, Barcelona against Levante, Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock, 4 ECT on Sportsmax 2.
La Liga living on Sportsmax, as does the NBA, the Golden State Warriors, on Thursday night in the first of a doubleheader. They'll be at the Boston Celtics, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time on Sportsmax. Following that, 10:30, 11:30 Eastern Caribbean time, the Utah Jazz, they're at the Denver Nuggets. Double on Sportsmax on Thursday night, as the sporting world continues to mourn the tragic loss of the NBA icon Kobe Bryant, his daughter and 7 others in a helicopter crash on Sunday in California.
Defender to electrify the crowd. Look at this piece of play. I'm gone.
Champion boy go, wanna pour them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watch out, man, shall I better forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Back down we run marathon boy. The Red stripe Premier League champion boy, yeah.
Rural area football under the spotlight and indeed under the lights in the Garden Parish of St. Anne. We are at Drax Hall for a humdinger in the Red Stripe Premiership. And that is what the house has come to see tonight, to introduce to you Mount Pleasant FA, the home team, and the away team, Humber Lion. Wherever you're watching from all over the world, thank you so much for joining our coverage here on the Home of Champions. My name is Donald Oliver. With me is Lance Whitaker. And again, under cool conditions, things are expected to heat up in just a little while with these two teams facing off as they seek to climb even further up the table.
Yeah, a lot of fans in for this fixture as well, Donald, because we know that Humberland is a very aggressive team. It's a team that has no difficulty on the road taking the fight to the home team, which tonight is Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant need to respond for their home fans, though, because the last couple of weeks they've not been that good. A loss and a drawn result against Harbourview.
Drax Hall, of course, pretty much right off the North Coast Highway. And Humber Lion would have travelled all the way from Clarendon in the south to be up in the north. And as I said before, pretty cool conditions here. The fans are here, and of course they have a lot to say, the finalists, ahead of this match.
My name is Frank Henry, following Mount Pleasant from 2 years ago. Our score tonight will be a 3-1, but we really want to go up to the top, so we'll go 3-1 tonight.
Yeah, Kemar Ellis, and I follow Mount Pleasant 3 years now, strong. And the score line tonight, a 3-love I give them. You understand? 3-love. I'm on the lookout for Kemar Bushy Beckford. I'm going to score 2 tonight.
Yeah, good evening. Tony, Client and Maple. Otherwise, people know I'm Zalet farm. Duke Street, man, and call me Butter Tony. Hear me now? I 3-love them again. No if but now maybe we not itch, net a stitch.
Big up all the Humber Lion fans them. I want love me thing there still. But look out for Vanzi. Original game, big game. Excited game.
But the last time I tell them say Chucky I do it. No if but now baby just watch you know we see it.
One love, straight, one love, Humber Lion. Big up.
Mount Pleasant, one aim, one destiny. Boom.
Well, I tell you what, those sets of fans are always entertaining, especially if you take a listen to them when they're watching the game. Of course, I personally believe that they are the two best supported teams. Of course, Anagan supporters will have something to say about that. But Humber Lion and Mount Pleasant, goodness me, when they come together, it's quite something. It's something quite special, isn't it?
And you heard the Humber Lion man just now. With na hitch, net a stitch.
So much for humility. I tell you what, there's the Mount Pleasant fans looking on, and of course they would be seeing the peculiar setting of cameras here. Of course, Mount Pleasant having their own academy, and it's really an impressive setup they have here in the parish of St. Anne, and they're hoping that a number of their youngsters will be able to graduate to the senior team.
Yeah, and I think the impact of an FA like this, an academy like this, will show itself in 5 or 6 years. Results quickly of the match day 24 starts on Sunday. Waterhouse 3-1 over Dunbeholden. Portmore 5-0 over Veer. UWI 1-1 Malines. Harbourview 1-1 with Cavalier. And Arnett Gons 1-1 with Tivoli Gardens. Waterhouse 5 points atop the table at the moment over Mount Pleasant, Portmore United and Humber Lion and Dunbeholden, Arnett Gardens, the teams that occupy the top 6 positions at the moment, and UW and Veer riveted to the bottom of the table. But it's round 24 of a 33-game regular season, so all not completely lost here for UWI and or Veer, but they've got to completely turn their form around in the coming weeks.
Well, not only do they have to turn their form around, the other teams ahead of them will have to fall dramatically. So, you know, they do say hope springs eternal in the human breast.
Yeah, but that's why I said and or, because I don't think both will escape. Maybe one can, but I don't think both will escape.
Well, the proverbial crabs in a barrel situation in the Red Stripe Premier League at the bottom of that table, as Mount Pleasant and Humber Lion getting ready to do battle. And the likes of Cardell Benbow will be hoping to share his skills to the watching world now. Tuned in on two sets of players eager to make a mark in St. Anne. Sportsmax Productions and of course the broadcasters as well, as they make their way out to the middle, both sets of teams. Fervor on the pitch, fanatism in the stands as both teams walk out. Mount Pleasant in blue and Humberline in red and yellow.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to stand for the national anthem.
We will now pause for the playing of the national anthem.